What is up, humans of the cardboard? Let's go. It's an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's an amazing day for your boy. John is winning today. I don't win a lot of days, but today is one of them. And no, it's not because of the special Battle Clash boxers, Yu-Gi-Oh! Boxers. That's not why. I mean, that's pretty hype. I actually might need to scoop some of these depending on what's going on there. But anyway, the important stuff today. We got a couple of really, really sweet reveals. Sorry I'm not prepped. I'm such a schlump. Let's get into this thing. Marincess was confirmed for Duelist Pack, Duelist of the Abyss, and this is so huge. If you guys have been following me for the last couple months, I've been talking about how as soon as that pack got announced, I was very adamant that Marincess was by far, to me, the archetype that made the most sense to end up in there. Then we got Mako Tsunami support revealed, and that was cool. But I was like, dang, okay, he was in the first one, and usually they don't repeat duelists in the duelist pack except for like Yugi and then characters that play different archetypes throughout the series. So they do their different archetypes. But they redid that, and then they showed Shark, and I was like, man, and like Marincess isn't even on the cover. If they're not going to put Marincess on the cover, it's probably not even going to be in there because that's like marketing, classic marketing. You put the waifus on the cover. They didn't want to do that. But lo and behold, they are still in the set. Let's fucking go. Let's get into this thing. Marincess Spring Girl. This is a Water Cyrus effect monster, level 4, 1200, 1000 for the stats, 2 hard ones returns for the effects. The first one reads, you can banish a Marincess monster from your graveyard as cost to special summon this card from the hand. Yes. Second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a water link monster, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of Marincess monsters you control, then inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Marincess card sent to the graveyard by this effect. I love it. I super love it. I extra love it. If you guys ever watched any of the videos I made talking about the kind of support I think Marincess needs to take that next tier up into competitive play, the first thing I wanted to see was another good level 4 extender. This is exactly that. It's exactly that, and I love it. Very easy summoning condition. All you have to do is get anything engraved, and the deck has link 1s galore. So very easy to do. And the second effect is just a bonus. You get a free mill. By the way, this deck gets so many add backs from grave that like milling anything is good. Any new name you mill to the grave, good. And you get a little extra burn, so technically in time you can win in your main phase. Sweet. I will take it. That card is phenomenal. I love it. Next up here we have Marincess Sleepy Maiden. She is a level 5 Water Cybers, 500, 2500. It's a big booty on her. 2 hard ones once per turn effects per turn. Here, whatever. First effect, you can target one Marincess card you control. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains this effect. That target cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects while this card is in the monster zone. And the second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a Marincess link you control and equip a Marincess link from your graveyard to it. This is kind of neat because, like, as you'll see, there's another link monster here that gains a nice little effect if it does have a link monster equipped to it. The only unfortunate part of this card is it's not level 4. If this card was level 4, then I mean, I'd be dancing because we'd have 2 bomb level 4 extenders. But 2 main things that worry me about this card. 1, this card cannot be used to make either of the link 1s because they require level 4 or lower, so that's unfortunate. And you can't use it to make rank 4 plays. You can't use it to make Bahamut Shark. You can't use it to make Abyss Dweller. And that definitely hurts this card's utility. It can help you to link up, and that's cool, and the graveyard effects is decent. It just doesn't really help you. It isn't versatile in the way it helps you continue on your plays. It only really helps you link climb from there. But the graveyard effect could come up, so maybe it's a one of, although it's honestly not even that searchable in the deck. Mining can't get it. The deck can only dump, so I guess it's a dump target, but that's about it. This one's an okay one to me. I think this card's phenomenal. This card is just okay for what the deck needed, to be honest. But if it was level 4, it'd be phenomenal. Moving on here, we have a Link 4, another one. This is an archetype with 3 different Link 4s. That has to be a record. This is Marincess Aqua Argonaut. It's a Link 4 Water Cybers, 2300 attack, and it has the plus sign, arrows, up, down, left, right. Takes any 2 water monsters. Love that. Love that. Super generic. You can only use the second and third effects of this card once per turn. The first effect reads, your opponent's monsters cannot attack other monsters while this card is in the extra monster zone. Second effect, you can target one water monster you control and one card your opponent controls as cost. Return them to the hand. Very nice. And the third effect, when a spell or trap card or effect is activated on the field during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can special summon a Marincess monster equipped to this card. And if you do, negate that effect. So kind of a little bit going on here, but there are some main things that I want to talk about. First and foremost, the battle protection isn't that huge, but I guess it could come up. I mean, if this is a big, 4,300 towers, it would be nice to say you can't attack anything else. You'll have to try and clear 4,300. That could be worth it. Second effect is actually pretty nice. Bouncing any water monster you control and an opponent's card is pretty good. It can even bounce itself if it comes to that, which is very nice. And then the third effect is spell and trap negation. We will take that. I mean, listen, there's a couple things hindering it here. It's only on your opponent's turn. So on your turn, it gives you no protection. And secondly, it needs to already have a Marincess monster equipped to it. That's where this last monster, Sleepy Maiden, does come in being handy, but the deck doesn't consistently search Sleepy Maiden. So mainly you're going to be trying to go through the line with the field spell, Battle Ocean, and equipping links off of that. That way you'll have a spell and trap negate and a 4,600 towers, which is actually pretty intimidating, especially if their outs have to be like lightning storms, cosmic cyclones, twin twisters, that kind of stuff. If that's the only outs they have, that's pretty daunting, because you have to factor in the fact that there's a quick spell and trap negate thrown in there. So very nice card. I'm very happy that we finally have a boss monster that does yield some interruption potential for us, because that was one of the deck's weaknesses. It seemed a little more passive. You're setting up sticky boards, but not interruptive boards, interactive boards, and so the deck does that a little bit better now with the Argonaut here. So fan of that. Moving on here, we have Marincess Dive. This is a normal spell card, and this is huge. I can't express that enough. You can only activate it once per turn. Activate one of these effects, but you cannot special summon monsters for this turn after this card resolves, except for waters. Who cares? First effect, target one non-link Marincess monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Second effect, if a Marincess Battle Ocean is in your field spell zone, you can special summon a Marincess monster straight from the deck. This card's amazing. This card is so good. It makes a lot of your plays even easier to do than they were before. I absolutely love it. Excuse me. This is just, it's just so, this card's amazing. They could have just given us this and I would have been like, wow. Okay. But there's other stuff too, so I'm not mad at all. This card is going to be so good for the deck. So good. By the way, guys, if you don't know, the deck has a link 1 that on summon searches any Marincess spell. So yeah. Anyway, next up, Marincess Circulation. We have some traps here. Normal trap. If you control a link 3 or higher Marincess monster, you can activate this card from the hand. Cool. Target a water link monster you control. Return it to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon a Marincess link monster from your extra deck with the same link rating, but a different name. But this turn, it can't attack directly. Also, it can't be destroyed by battle, and this is treated as a link summon. Kind of a cool card, but it's more of like a dodge card. It doesn't help you get disruption, realistically. I think it's interesting. I just think it's unfortunately, it doesn't do enough, right? Like, it just doesn't do enough, to be honest. Like, I think the deck really needs one more good trap card and we are good to go. And unfortunately, I think this one kind of misses the mark for right now. I guess we could get support that makes this card workable if we do get like maybe a link that when it's special summoned or link summoned, it like has removal, right? That way you can quick summon it on your opponent's turn, get that extra removal and as a disruption, and that would solve a lot of that deck's problems. But we'll see. We'll see. For now, it's kind of mediocre to me. And the last card we have here is Marincess Bubble Ring. It's a normal trap you can only activate once per turn. When a monster declares an attack, negate that attack. And if you do, special summon a Marincess Crystal Heart from your extra deck or graveyard. Second effect, you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target one link 2 or higher Marincess monster you control. This turn, its maximum number of attacks per battle phase equals its link rating, but your opponent takes no damage from battles involving it. So you can kind of turn into an ultimate Conductor Tyranno if Conductor Tyranno could never OTK your opponent. I think it's fine, right? Like you can potentially just clear over your opponent's entire board, but this card kind of sucks. It requires the battle phase to even activate. And the graveyard effect is like not that good. It's very situational. So yeah, I think overall this card's kind of poo. This card could be okay if future cards kind of like are tailored to make this better. This card is amazing. This is a 10 out of 10. This card's like a 7 out of 10 for me. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. This card is a 5 out of 10. It's an okay extender, but it's not level 4, so it doesn't really help cover other things that the deck would maybe want to take advantage of. And this card's probably like an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10 for me, because it's almost exactly the kind of extender I was looking for in the deck. So very, very cool. One other thing I do want to note here is if you look at the numbers in the set that these cards are, you have number 31, number 32, and then number 34 here. So we have one more card to be revealed for the Marincess support. It is either going to be a lower link rating link monster or another main deck monster. I lean towards it being another link monster, but we'll obviously see when it drops, but just keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to talk about here is this. We have confirmation that the Dark Charmer Link is finally coming to the TCG, well, coming to the game in general. The OCG will get it first, but as we know, the Charmer Links are all phenomenal, but this one is by far and away the best one. This one could be format changing, where like literally every deck is playing this, because Dark is like literally half the game. Half of the game is Dark attributes. So almost every single deck, whether it's hand traps, whether it's generic extra deck monsters, whatever it may be, they put darks in the grave, and this card is so easy to make, and it floats, and it gets you another free link material. I mean, imagine just like outing a Dragoon and then reborning the Dragoon off of dark. And the duel's just over. Like, that's insane to me. Like, that's like an insane prospect to think about. But yep, very, very cool there. Very excited for this to be coming out. I'm just glad it's finally coming, that we're going to have all 6 of the Charmer Links out. But Marincess, I'm extremely hyped. If you couldn't tell, my energy is through the roof. I think the support, listen, I don't want to make a judgment call too early, but like, I legitimately think that Marincess could be better than Salamangreat after this wave of support. And listen, I'm not saying Salamangrate's tier 1 or anything, but a lot of people would say Salamangrate's like one of those tier 2/rogue decks that can easily perform and compete with the meta right now. I think this deck is going to be better than Salamangreat after this wave of support comes out. That's all I'm saying. So that's going to do it from here today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the description below, or in the comment section down below. How good do you think Marincess gets after this support? How good is the support in general? And also, are you excited for Dark? This card's going to be... every deck's going to be playing this. I can't wait. Very cool. A lot of cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from your boy in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.